What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and as always, we're going to be going over the charts, starting out with the Dow, moving on to DXY, and then Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at a couple newer charts in Bitcoin as what I'm looking for. Just looking at the fib levels and where we've hit. We're also going to look at that on the Dow Jones. So definitely stick around for the whole video. This is going to be a very quick video. As most of you guys know, we are breaking ground on the house today, so I want to be there for that. But I did want to get a quick video out, so let's get into it and see what's going on. So the Dow Jones, we are still in this falling channel. We talked about this yesterday, getting a spike up and then back down. As you can see, we are making hidden bearish divergence. Right here, we're making higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action. Now, there is room to come back up and retest this. So could we get a crazy spike up? It is possible. So be aware of that. Just be careful. I do think we may get one more spike up just to break the little high of Bitcoin, but we'll talk about where that might go. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones first. We put the Fibonacci retracement from this high down to our low down here, and you can see where we got rejected. I had this circled for our Discord group. The link's down below. It's totally free. We don't charge for the Discord. I haven't been in there as often. Obviously got a lot going on. But as you can see, we got rejected right in the golden pocket zone. Now, if we are able to get back above this and get support, then I would look for the 0.786, which is around 33,050, somewhere in that range, if we do get up there. But otherwise, our next level is coming back down to retest this 31,460. If we break below this, this becomes resistance. Then we come back down to our old level, 30,700. We'll watch this on levels, but nevertheless, I do think we come back down to at least retest this bottom trend line. That's going to be around 27.8, depending on how quickly it gets there. Obviously, if it drops faster, we'll get there quicker, but around 27.8. And after that, I'm going to get this target out of there because we invalidated our rising channel over here. And if we do break that, our measured move is going to be somewhere all the way down here to the 22.5, 22.7 range, somewhere in that range. And then we have a long-term trend line right here. But we'll see what happens first. Until we break this, none of this is in the picture. Of course, till we break this, we'll probably break down, come back up, spike for retest, and then continuation to the downside. So be careful on that. Also, looking at the DXY, we talked about this yesterday. We put the Fibonacci extensions on here, looking at this as a possible ABC correction. And as you can see, this white trend line, we are getting a bounce off that. Now, if this breaks, if we cannot break back above this 0.786, which is 110.23, if we can't break above that, then we may come down to this 109.24 for a retest, possibly lower if it happens quick to this 108.80, which is this blue trend line that's been here for a long time, right? We did break our white trend line. We can get this out of here now. But as you can see, this may be just an ABC correction and then a continuation to the upside. If we follow this trend line all the way back, it just goes off this peak here and this peak here. As you can see, that is where we seem to be getting our bounce. So be careful there. As you guys know, in the big picture, I see, and let me explain the DXY real quick. It's just a index of the dollar compared to other currencies. But usually when everyone's getting into the dollar, they're getting ready for a big market drop. I do think the Dow, S&P, everything is gonna have a huge crash still. I still believe that is in the works. The biggest money grab in history. But if you look at it here on the weekly, we're also getting a bounce there. And you guys know my measured move target for the next target is around 122. I still believe that's where we're headed. We'll probably get a rejection in that area, but once we get above this, come back up, retest it for support, I think the DXY will fly like it did back here in the 80s, right? And that is just a measured move of this falling wedge up to there. Still looking like that is what is going on to me. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, smash those likes If you haven't already, I do appreciate that. It helps push the videos out there. Before we get into Bitcoin, if you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You don't get all the scam wicks. Your orders get filled. It's not low liquidity or a crap exchange. And also, you can use my promo code Savvy50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. You can use my link down below. Also, at the end of the video, I'll have a tutorial up top. So this is a chart we talked about yesterday. You can see these green circles here. This is the 4 hour. Every time we get above our, what is this, around 70 range on our RSI, we get our peaks. We got our peak here. Got our peak here, got our peak here, all the way across. And this is where we're at now. Now, that's not to say we don't get one more little push up, but nevertheless, I think we are at or near the top. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Now, let's look at the fibs here. So if we throw the fibs on from this high right here to this low, we hit our 0.618 golden pocket range, almost to the T. Now, if we get a bounce and get back above this, our next level to watch for is going to be, and I'm going to show you something interesting on the weekly too, but as you can see, it's around 21.8, but we'd have to break this 21,162 range. If we break that and get support, then we look for 21.8. I do have some other targets that don't quite get us there, but as of right now, we're getting rejected on the 0.618. Also, we're making higher highs in the price action, or higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, which is hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down. Everyone's getting extremely excited here, and all we've done is made more lower lows, guys, since August. Actually, way before August, but in this little move here, lower low after lower low. Nothing big here. Now, if we break this 22.8, then we could start looking at, we've broke this high, but ultimately, this is the high to break up here, which I don't think is likely, and that's around the 25.2. But remember, every time we've made these wicks down, like right here, we talked about this when it happened. Once we broke that, we usually do not come back up and actually hit that line, just like back here. Same thing. This low here, we never came back up to hit it. So just something to watch for. Let's take a look at the falling channel in Bitcoin. We were watching this descending triangle. We did break out of that triangle, but as you can see, we busted above the RSI trend line right here, but came right back down below it. Now, this is showing another possibility. This also would get us up to that 25.1 if we were in this channel here, right? But our next level, I'm looking for resistance. If we do get higher, if we do get a crazy spike up, maybe today or tomorrow, before, you know, making our final push up and then continuation to the downside, this would be the measured move here of this kind of wedge. Take the measured move of that, put it to where we broke out, and that gets us right around that 21.5 range. So 21.5 to 21.8 is where I'd be looking for a rejection here, guys. So be careful. Like I said, all we're doing is making lower lows after lower, or lower highs after lower highs, guys, over and over again. This is the weekly. I did the same thing from this high to this low, and look at that. We got rejected at the golden pocket zone, which is the 0.618 and 0.65 fibs. Also getting rejected at the 13 EMA right here, right? If we were to break above, like I said, look for the 21.8, and then we had the 21 EMA at around 22.8. I don't think we're going to get there, guys, but you never know. It is Bitcoin, right? But another reason I know is because of this trend line right here, and we'll take a look at it compared to the Bitcoin and Amazon comparison chart, right? I do think we get a rejection here. Now, if we break above this and close the weekly above this, then we may get that rally that everyone's expecting to the 25 to 30,000 range. But I just don't see it, guys. Here are my measured moves. Measured move from the breakdown of this rising broadening wedge gets us to at 14.5. This is still my next level I'm looking for. Once we break that 18.2 range, I think 14.5 will come pretty quick. If this breaks, then we got our 85. But you guys know my bigger picture. If you don't, I'm about to show you. So this is the .com compared to Amazon, or the bubble, or the Amazon bubble compared to the Bitcoin bubble right here. And we're right in this area. So if we do get a spike up like we got here, we could again get to that 22, 23,000. Like I said, I don't see it happening. I think we're pretty much topped out here. And reason being, if I move this over a little bit, you can see we're getting rejected on this trend line on the weekly, right? Just like we did here. And then we have our next leg down, which is going to be our false bottom, ending sometime in February or March, down to that 75 to 8,500. It's going to take time, guys. This is a weekly chart. And then we get our bounce, our big rally. We break this level right here. Move this over. We break the support or the resistance right here, just like we did here. Get everyone bullish. Get a rally up to 14, 15,000, maybe somewhere in there. We'll be keeping an eye on it, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have your notification bells ticked. We do daily updates every day. And then once we get that rally, then continue down to break this low, get everyone super scared. And then people will be calling for $1,000 Bitcoin, $800 Bitcoin. And that's when you know the bottom's in. The bottom's not in when all the people continue to say the bottom is in. Down here, they'll probably be scared and they won't be saying it. And that would be sometime in the middle or end of next year. I know people think the 4-year cycles, blah, blah, blah. Could still be a 4-year cycle, but each cycle doesn't have to go up. As you guys know, I talk about the election cycles. I think that's more important every 4 years as election cycles, and it doesn't always go to the same direction. Also, Bitcoin has never experienced a traditional bear market, which I think is coming, the biggest money grab in history. And what happens in bear markets, guys? We have rallies. Those are made to get liquidity in so they can dump at a higher price. Same thing in traditional markets, right? Same thing. It's just a game, guys. It's just a game. News is noise. I don't believe in the news. The news comes out after the move. The news is an excuse of why the markets move. So when there's a big dump, then you hear of the news of whatever they want to tell you's happened. And that's what caused it. What really caused it is they dumped on you and then they made a news story to cover their move, right? So this is the same chart, Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart. Looking at the big picture, guys, this could be one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetimes for sure, all the way. If this does happen, we're looking at possibly 10 years to break the all-time high. If it even breaks, man, there's a possibility that it doesn't break. Amazon, or not Amazon, but Nintendo and Sony, I've showed you the bubble pop patterns in those, same type pattern. They've not broken their all-time highs after 15 and 20 years. So just something to keep in mind, guys. I know everybody thinks that this thing's just going to shoot up and continue to the moon. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's just not showing that way in the charts. This is showing that if we do take this route, it would be middle of 2025 would be. So this would be our, our 4-year cycle, right? To get to this high. And then we have our bear market. And then we have another 4-year cycle to get to this high. And then we have a bear market. So just think about it, guys. Don't get caught up in the Bitcoin has got to go to, we heard that 2 years ago, it's going to 100K. We heard it last year, it's going to 100K. Guys, be careful out there. This is the other chart, Amazon compared to Bitcoin right here. And it's overlaid. It's the same time frame, same everything, not skewed a bit. Same highs, same lows. And we are right in the area where we should have our continuation down to approximately, that 75 to 8,500, get a bounce up. And that would be way down here. So as you can see, guys, this would be in February or March, the bottom here. This is playing, and it doesn't go tick for tick, right? It's a structure, a market structure, and it's a bubble pop pattern. It's not a fractal. It's a bubble pop pattern. It's not an Elliott wave count. It is a pattern, guys. And this pattern seems to be playing out perfectly so far. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's still rejected at our 1-to-1 extension. As you guys know, my next target for gold's 1561. Probably get a bounce in this range if we do break this, looking at 1432. And I would zoom out, but I'm trying to keep this video short. It could go much, much lower. Same with silver's getting rejected at its old support, new resistance. My target for the last year has been about 1550. I think we could go much, much lower, as possibly as low as $7 for silver. I know that's not real popular with these silver bugs, and the gold one is not real popular with the gold bugs. This is that Google chart I posted it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that once we broke this, it was going to get ugly for Google. And what is that measured move? Let's take a look at that now. It's bad. Around $40 for Google. Be careful out there, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, smash those thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. What tickers would you like to look at? I will be looking at more, but there's got to be enough people asking for the ticker. So whoever asks for the most, but it's got to be a lot. And I will add it to a next video, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure I'm going to get a video in tomorrow. As you guys know, I'm going out of town, so some of you know. So I'll try to get a video in before we leave. No promises, but we will be doing the spaces, the new spaces for Bare Naked Horsemen. Definitely check it out. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll be seeing me post it. So I think we have a special guest tomorrow also. Anyways, again, smash likes. I'm out, guys. I will see you in the next video.